the Bulls losing, man? How they losing?
We live, Stace.
Okay,
Who losing?
the
Oh,
the
the USA.
I mean, what is it? Real quick
Cause
though.
man, them overseas boys ain't no joke.
Well,
And
also,
talent, the talent on the USA team, it ain't like the Dream Team. I mean,
I was
they
gonna
got some
ask you.
squad, but it ain't like when you got Jordan, you got the best at every position. You know what I'm saying? That it
Okay,
ain't the same.
are there any dogs on the team? Are there any like dogs on the team that's just like, yo, I'm taking over this thing?
Nah. Well, Dame Lillard.
Oh, but then,
Um,
now somebody said they took him out for the last quarter, right?
yeah, Dame Lillard. KD.
But KD is not a KD. Is he a dog though? I don't. I
Yeah,
think
KD a
KD is a
dog, man.
machine.
He's a
I mean, I think
He
he's a
remind me of
machine, but I
George
don't.
Gervin. You know what I mean? He got that smooth shit going, like them
No, but
long, lanky arms.
all
Yeah,
right,
that's
that's
the
interesting
Iceman
though.
Jr.
But Nike, I look at him as a scoring machine. But a dog is the one that brings that emotion. I don't
That ain't
see that
going.
in
He ain't
KD though,
losing. Yeah. None of them ain't got that killer shit in them. Like you know what I mean?
and
That
that's what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
they
That's
ain't
what I'm
got
talking
that.
about, man.
Well, I don't know.
Right, yeah,
Dame got some of that in him.
right,
Dame got
right,
some of that in him, but
right.
I don't
You
know about
need
the
that.
rest of them cats. Right? Yeah, that killer shit in them. Hey, oh, okay,
All
all
right,
right.
yo,
I'm sorry, y'all. We digressed a little bit. Um,
that's cool.
I'm TL and that's Stacy, and this is
Yo,
Real Brothers Live, uh, Real Brothers for the Real World, and welcome to our digital neighborhood.
yep.
Stacy, what are going to be our topics tonight?
All right, y'all. Like Till said, we'd like to take this opportunity to welcome everyone. Oh, Nike, while I'm doing this, don't forget to
Mm-hmm.
put the link in the comment so people
Got you,
chime in. Okay.
got you.
Pat, what's going on? We'd like to welcome everyone to the Real Brothers Live, these Real Brothers of the Real World. We got a couple issues that we're going to talk about today. But also, we'd like to remind each and every one of you that we changed the format up slightly. Terry just put the link on the page here. So we invite you
Yeah,
to
so
click
just
on the
copy and
link.
paste that link into your browser,
Feeling that.
and then if you have a question or a comment, you know what I
Right.
mean? We can hit a button and let you in, and you can speak your
You can
piece.
join the conversation. Absolutely. Absolutely. As we said, I mean, this is us talking from our perspective. So, Knight, the topics that we have for today, we hope a couple people hit me up, say they wanted to join in. So we hope that they'll join in soon. We have a
Cool,
couple
cool.
topics, Knight. We have living your best life, if why or why not.
Hmm.
We have a Black History experiment. We
Hmm.
have the 1%,
Hmm.
and we have materialism.
All right.
So where do you want to start, Knight?
Let's start at the top. Let's start at the top. Are you
Living your
living
best
your
life?
best life? And
Living your best
if
life?
why and why not?
All right, okay. So actually, let me start off with this one then. This was a topic that I put out on a Facebook a little while ago, and the response was I didn't expect the response that we got. A lot of people chimed in. A lot of people had a lot of things to say about it. I hope that some of them will come on and repeat some of those things. So I wanted to bring it out there and talk about it. I think the reason that I put it out there because I think that it has a lot to do with where you are mentally. So I wanted to get a feel for what people to get their response, and and the more we hashed it out, it became clear to me, like that like I thought, a lot of people are realizing that the things that make them happy or make them quote unquote help them to live their best life are not what they thought it would have been going in. I
Right.
think at
Sometimes
some
what you
point of our
think
lives,
gonna make you happy, once you get it, you're like, damn, you still searching. You know what I mean?
right, still searching, right,
Yeah.
right. Especially when you're talking about quality of life. You know, when you talk about quality of life, a lot of time it wound up being the simple things. Peace of mind
Right.
and just different things like that. So let me answer that question then. Am I living my best life? I'll say I'm going to have to say yes. and I'll put this caveat in it. I do realize, like, that life happens and nothing is ever 100%. But I think that I realize that happiness starts from within. I don't think that, at least for me, nothing on the outside can make can make me happy. I think that it's up to me to keep myself in a good space. Now, that's not to
Right.
say that issues can't bubble up, in your life to, make you struggle a little bit. Yeah, of course, those things happen. But I think for me, as long as I focus on what's important, man, I'm normally okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm normally okay. You know,
Yeah.
and go ahead, Knight.
No, I was just about to blend in with what you were saying. Like, as far as me living my best life, I would have to say yes, um, because I'm not mentally enslaved anymore. You
What do
know
you
what I
mean by
mean?
that?
Like, I like a lot of people out here think that they're free just because they're physically free, but they
Mm,
don't realize that a lot of times their mind is still enslaved by certain things, um, that they think about, certain ways that they go about life. You can
mm.
tell that they're still under the mentality that that there's
Somebody
somebody
else.
over them,
Right,
or
right.
there's somebody that's able to hold them down, when in
Mm,
actuality can't nobody hold uh, me down, you down, or
right,
anybody else
right,
down unless you
right,
let them.
right,
You know what I mean?
right, right.
It's all depends on if you're gonna give the person that power.
Mm.
You know what I
You know
mean?
what? Somebody said something that was profound. It was one of those dictators or something. Um, they said that people don't want to be free. People don't want
It's too much
choices.
responsibility in being
And
free.
and I think that
It
right
is.
there is the case.
Right.
I think that it's real easy to put your happiness and the responsibility of your happiness
On
on
someone
someone
else.
else. Right.
Right.
Because
Because if
then
you don't achieve whatever you're trying to achieve,
there's a reason.
you you have a built-in excuse. Right?
Right, 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 right,
So
right.
right.
Whereas if
So
that excuse is if it's on you, then if you don't make it, the only person that you have to look at is yourself.
now,
And I think
and another thing I have to clarify, because I know it's gonna people. Oh, this nigga talking about, hey, the white man ain't holding me down, or ain't nobody holding me down. That's because there is no one holding you down unless you let them hold you down. And the reason that
mhm,
I'm saying this is because I'm not saying that things aren't harder for black
mm,
people, because it is. I'm not saying that the system is specifically set up to hold back black, not just black, minority, and people of lower income. Yes, the
mm,
system is definitely uh, there to keep us separated,
mm,
right? But the
mhm.
thing is, like I was just telling Stacy off air a few minutes ago, if somebody walked up and smacked you in the face, do you just, oh shit, like damn, he just smacked me in the face? All right, well, I'm just going to turn around and go the other
Right,
way,
right.
because this nigga just smacked me in my face and
Mm,
I
mhm,
can't take it.
mm,
So yeah,
mhm.
all right. So a lot of people, they just turn around and walk the other way,
Right.
because instead of whatever that's it is in front of them, instead of going through it, or like,
Mhm,
what I mean, doing what you got to do to get past it. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? So
Right,
it's not the
right.
fact that something is holding you down; it's making it more difficult.
Mm, mhm, mhm.
I won't dispute that. But if you're going to live your best life, go and live your best life.
Right,
You ain't got,
right. Mm.
there's
You
nothing
know, and
holding you back.
I think the other thing is that I think to a certain extent we also have it twisted because I think that we put too much emphasis on stuff. I think that we
Yeah.
have this
We're gonna
vast
hit on that a little later too. Matter of
right,
fact, that
true,
should be
true,
next.
true, true,
We
true,
should
true,
probably
true,
go to
true,
that one
true.
next.
All right, okay, we
Yeah.
can. But what I was keeping it in the vein of living your best life, I think that we chase after things and we have this planet here and this space, and it might sound oaky. We have all of this beauty around us, and we don't take the time to soak it up. You know,
Right.
I think we spend too much time focusing in on what we don't have versus paying attention to what we do have and what we have access to. Put it that way. You
Right.
know, and I think that if you spend all of your time chasing, you first of all it's hard to get there because there's always something out there that you don't have. So you'll just continue to pursue. Sometimes you have to slow down. Sometimes you got to slow down and take it in. As I say,
Right.
breathe in life. You have to
Yeah.
take some time off and go to the beach
Enjoy a
or
nice view or something, right? Sit
right,
back
right,
and,
right,
I ain't saying this might sound corny, but get you a book, man. Sit back, get under a nice tree somewhere, or you know what I mean. Get on, on the beach, whatever,
right,
and
right,
just, you
right.
know what I mean. Just, just,
Yeah,
just chill out.
I think with that being said, I think that in a lot of instances we become our worst enemy. Here's Shahida. Shahida, I hope you got the link where you can join in. I'm not sure which topic you
I
wanted
just posted
to
the
chime in.
link on that streamyard.com. All you have to do is copy and paste it into your browser, and we'll let you in.
Now, Lynette says we caught up trying to survive as well, and
And
don't
don't
live.
live. That's true.
Now,
That's true.
see, but it's a balance because there are always going to be obstacles. As I like to say, life happens, and life happens every day. But I think that we have to be able to sometime pull ourselves out of that fight and so recharge. You have to recharge. You can't always be in fight mode, because I
I see
think
what
that
Lynette's
with
saying
itself.
though. She talking about like survival mode, like when you gotta, you gotta, try to get some bread to get some groceries in the crib. You know what I mean? Because you got
You
kids that want to eat. You know what I
now
mean?
see,
You
but
can't put it off. You can't put survival mode off for a while. You gotta do what you gotta do.
right. You know what, Nike, and I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, every day, I mean, and I guess this is a question: can every waking moment be a fight? No, it can't be. I mean,
Not
we
every
have to.
waking moment, but I mean, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta. Like, there's people out here that states that's working like 3 and 4 part-time
Mhm,
jobs, right?
mhm, mhm,
Just
mhm,
to pay they rent and to give, to keep a little bit of food in the crib. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
So
mhm.
you if you working 3 jobs, you working all these different shifts. You know what I mean? You sometimes it's hard to just be like, I'm just going to chill or I'm just going to do that. Sometimes, you know what I mean, you got to bust it up.
Nike, Lynette
There's
says,
people out
"Where's the
here
link?"
working their asses off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay. Let me put the link
Yeah, I
in the
got the
chat.
link right here. I just put it in there.
Lynette
Here it
says,
is.
"Where's the link?" And let me see. I'm learning not to always be in a rush. And now that's what Shahida said, and that's kind of
Uh,
what I'm getting at because we definitely have to fight. Nothing is going to be given to us, so we have to fight for it. But I don't think that we can spend all of our time in that mode. You have to be able to unplug and find a space where you can just relax. That's almost like
right.
PTSD. You can't be in flight or fight mode every day,
Every
all
day,
day.
right. I
No,
see what you're saying. But
you have to find a space.
yeah,
You have to find a space. And I think something that you said was true though. Even if it's I think sometimes we think that finding that space is watching TV when sometimes that's not it because that's just images and those images sometimes can wear you out also news and all of that
right.
kind of stuff. You got to find a way where you can unplug and just soak in something different. The Lynette, hopefully Lynette got the link.
Yeah.
She said she wanted to call in. um, Shahida said, I'm learning not to always be in a rush. and Sahida, I think that's the case. You can't always be in a rush, because life is going to always be there. And you know what, Knight? I'll take it one step further. Those issues are going to always be there.
What
So,
issues?
I mean, the issues that you have, if you working 3 jobs and you trying to, make it happen financially because you have to, those things are going to be there. But for your own sanity and for your own survival, you still have to be able to unplug. Okay, looks like
Right.
Lynette made it on.
Oh, there's Lynette.
Okay. All right, we're gonna bring her on. All right. Hey, Lynette.
Hey, what's up,
Hi.
Lynette? How you
How you
doing?
doing? Yes, we
good.
can hear you fine. We can hear you fine.
Okay.
So please elaborate on what you were saying.
Okay, so in trying to get to the link, I kind of missed some of the things that you guys were saying. So I don't know where we're at.
We were
Oh,
talking about what we were talking about is well, the question is, are you living your best life? Why and why not?
So I did see when you posted that on your Facebook page, and I did comment on it in one aspect. But I'll back up, and my comment here tonight was we get caught up surviving. And I've been a
yeah.
single mom for many years to multiple children, and um the work, like you were saying, like the working multiple jobs to get
Yeah,
by
I know what
and
that's like because I
survive.
had 5. Yeah, so I
Mm,
know what
Yeah,
it's
I got
like.
5. Yeah. So,
wow.
and not only that, listen, I had 5 girls. So when they hit
Oh,
teenagers, they were
Oh,
all
yeah, I know
stair
that's
steps.
rough. Yeah.
So I
wow.
didn't have time. There was no time for me and living my best life because I was making sure they wasn't trying to live their best life. So
Right. That's right.
Well, yeah, that's
That's
a different
right.
kind of. I mean, so okay, so Lynette, let me ask you this then: with the 5 daughters, how old is the youngest? Oh, there you go. She got a
Look
Weezy.
like you're living your best life
She got
now,
a, she
though.
got a
let me
Weezy.
tell you something.
You
Let me
are
tell
you
you
in the
something.
car though? Wait a minute, well, I see the car. How you?
This
Hey,
is my
wait.
Wow.
getaway.
She
I
in the
made
car
this.
on the podcast and drinking wine. She chilling. She chilling hard. Ain't no hookah. No, not the hookah, too. Oh, my God.
Yo, she making it
So
happen.
wait,
Chilling
Well, go ahead.
hard. Wow.
Go ahead, Lynette.
ever since last week, I made this a date. I was like, this is mommy time. I'm going out in my car.
I
Y'all
hear
don't
you.
bother me.
All right.
Right. And
I
that's what
hear
I was
that.
going to ask you. How do you do that though? Because do you think that now, looking back, you realize that you have to make a time. You have to make time for that. You have to set some time, like you call it, mommy time. Set some of the other things. But set it up so that you have time where you can unplug. Because if not, you're no good to anyone because you get wound up so tight that you just never get to
But
let it out.
sometimes, Stace, you just don't have a choice.
There you
Like
go.
you,
There you
you,
go.
you don't have
Sometimes
a choice to be, but you might be wound tight. You might be tight as a drum, but you know what I mean. You still got to eat, so you gotta, you know what I mean.
Right.
You still
exactly.
got to eat. So and the kids, they don't. Well, Daddy's tight tonight, so you know what I mean.
True.
I
True.
can't go out and make no money tonight. I'm tight.
So
While their
Lynette,
stomachs is growling, you can't do that.
I mean, so let me ask you this. Well, how old is your youngest? How old is your youngest, Lynette?
I don't want no judgment here, okay?
Oh no, this is real. This is all real right here.
My youngest will be 7 next month.
Okay. So
Okay.
with that young, the reason why I asked is because the young person still needs attention. You don't have all teenagers, but now are you starting to shift the way that you view things? Because now, like you said, you set time to the side where you can go sit in the car, have your glass or whatever. I mean, are you starting to shift the way that you thought about that
Taking
from
some
before?
me time is what it, right? Taking
So,
some me
okay.
time.
She's my late in life baby. I'm 47 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 4 grown children, 4 grown
Mm-hmm.
daughters now I have grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope none of them are tuning in, okay? but,
As we
but
hope they are.
it's like a love-hate thing right now, right?
Right.
Well, listen, I commented I have a harder time with my older children than I do the one at home. Well, she ain't the only one at home, but the young one. I get wrapped up in their lives. So that's where when I can't live my best life, it's because of the type of mom I am, and I know it's my fault. You know what I mean? So we have that responsibility, definitely in place. But it's generational too. I watched my grandmother, I watched my mother be the same type of mother that I have become. So I've got grown children struggling. So I feel like I need to rescue them.
Right.
So, and as a single mom, I know how, raising them alone like that, I know what it's like to struggle. And I don't want to see them go through what I go through. So I try to put that weight up, which is causing me anxiety, stress, financial hardship. I mean, like, I'm still trying to come up out of the financial hardship of just raising them by myself. Even though they're grown now and they all have their own incomes and whatever, they're still struggling. And I'm, like I said, I'm trying to recover from raising them. But so that I already know my downfall as far as not living my best life.
But you could, if you wanted to now, though, you could say, I got you when I come back from my little hiatus.
Right.
I do that now.
Right. I mean, I got you.
Recharge.
But you gotta wait for a second. Yeah.
You have to recharge. I mean,
you earn that. You know what I'm saying? You earn that.
Every now and again, I will dip off. The youngest ones will be with her father or something like that, and I'll dip off. I'll do a little something. But even the getting away though, a lot. I don't know if it's something that has occurred in this day and age, or what's going on. Maybe it's society now and all the things going on in the world. But I can't tell you how many women, especially, I talk to that suffer from anxiety.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Crippling.
But see, in the Black community, we don't. For some,
Lynette, thanks for calling in, Lynette.
Thanks.
Now, don't forget. Now, when we bring this next topic up, if you want to chime in, come on back on. Okay. Keep doing what you're doing. Enjoy it. Enjoy your Chablis.
And back when we was talking about, like, as far as the depression and anxiety and all that. A couple shows back, we did a whole, thing on mental health. And that's one of the things our people have to, not just our people, man, like
everybody
needs to check on their mental health, man. That's right. And I know I can't speak for every community, but I know in the Black community, it's a stigma on it.
Weight. That's right.
Like sometimes you can't be strong all the time. Sometimes you have to be a little,
Okay. Yep. Now, Knight, we're gonna introduce this next topic. Shahida's coming in now, so we're gonna give Shahida. Hey, Shahida.
Hey, Shahida, how you doing?
Now, Shahida, how you doing today? How are you?
Again?
How you doing?
I'm cool in the game.
There you go. Well, thank you for joining us. All right. So what we're gonna do, Shahida, we're gonna repeat the first topic, but we're also gonna introduce this next topic, so you can say a little something on both or one or the other. So living your best life is where we are now. Now we have three other ones. We have a Black History Experiment. We have the 1% and Materialism. So which one, Shahida? Where do you want to go?
Well, the living the best life. I can start there.
Okay. So we're listening.
Well,
what are your thoughts?
I responded for some reason. I can't. Okay, I responded the first time when it was on the page, and I think my first time coming in with you guys were when you were talking about mental health. Now, for me, I'm bogged down with my son is 20, and I'm going to say between the ages of 18 and 20. He shifted. So it's like I took on that. I'm taking on my mom, and then I have my dad. So there's really no time, when you dealing with mental health in a child and trying to keep them safe, and we already know what it is. Society is not going to look at him like, oh, well, he just, there's something going on. He's a problem to society. So I spend the bulk of my time trying to make sure he's okay. When he walks out the door, like he doesn't drive. So I spend a huge amount of money on lifts, like, because I can't be here, there, and everywhere,
Right, right, right,
So when
right,
he has to go somewhere, I'm like, okay, so where are we going? Because we're
right.
getting in a lift if I can't do it.
Right.
So my
Absolutely.
best life is right here in my little honeycomb hideout
There you go. But you do have a
Right.
hideout. But you do
in
have
my
a hideout.
bedroom,
There you
in
go.
Yep.
here. And I'm okay with that because all I have to do is say, I don't want to say it real loud because she be listening, but hey, Google, play such and such. And I'm in my zone.
There you
There you
go.
go.
Right, right.
There you
She
go.
Your
came
own
right
little
in and she
fortress of
nosy.
solitude. There you
That's
go.
right. I mean, but Saida, the thing is though, see, you caught it
She
early.
heard you.
Hey, did you hear it?
Yeah.
I heard it, yeah.
Hey,
But
Google, stop.
I
But
think
anyway,
what our point is, Saida, is that we have to make sure for our own benefit, because again, if we're no good, then we're no good for anyone else.
and
So,
I
like you
hear
said,
that
you
all the
have.
time.
Yeah, so
Right. Yeah.
wherever that place is, you have your honeycomb hideout, or if it's in the backyard, if it's in the car, wherever it is, you have to have a place where you can go and do you for a little while, because that's the way you recharge. Like I said, because
Yeah,
other than that, you're no good to anyone,
Right. Right.
So I'm glad that you do. I'm
yeah.
glad
And
that you do.
I had surgery in June, and so the first 3 weeks I felt super, super weird because I'm
Mm,
feeling like a slouch because I'm not moving around. You
mm,
know what I
Right.
mean? And
Right.
I'm like,
right.
because I'm normally up and out the door by like no later than 6:15 every day, up 5:45. And so
Wow.
after I had the surgery, they're like, well, you probably won't be going to work until after September. I'm like, whoa.
Mm,
And I
mm,
found myself being a little almost like depressed, like, oh my God, I'm just sitting here, I'm not doing nothing.
mm,
And then I had to kind of like, dig myself, like, wait a minute, you're supposed to be healing,
That's right.
So
That's right.
it's a work. I'm a work in progress with that.
That's right. That's
Right.
right. Go ahead, Nike. What were you about to say?
No, I was just agreeing when she said a work in progress. I was like, I was about to say we're all a work in progress. You
Hmm.
know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Yeah.
But I think as long as we realize, and I think that's the first part of it though, just realizing that that there's more to it. Realizing we
Right.
have to have that honeycomb hideout. That's the key, because I think what burns us out is when we don't realize that we're running 24 hours a day and we're not stopping and we're not recharging. We don't realize it, so then we don't attempt to stop. We don't attempt to slow down. You just keep moving.
And we got to realize that we're not at the finish line yet either. So
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
absolutely,
Even
right.
though we might not be where we're going, yet
We're still running.
we know we still got we still got some ways to go to get to where we're trying to be. So you know
Absolutely,
what I mean?
absolutely. All right, so Saida, we're gonna bring in
Uh-huh.
this. We got these next topics. We're gonna bring in, and we're gonna give you the opportunity to help us change directions. We
Uh-huh.
got a Black History experiment. We
Hmm.
have the 1%,
Hmm.
and materialism. Where do you want to
Let's
go?
get into the materialism.
Listen to the way you said it.
Ooh,
Well, all right. So
Lord, let's talk about that.
that's Terry. All right. So what are your thoughts on it? I
That
mean,
that
why
kind
did
of
you?
that kind of flows right into what we was doing with the living the best life, because a lot of people think that material shit is defines your best life. You get what I mean?
Mm,
And that's
Well,
mm.
so. Don't get me
let me just
started,
say
man.
this.
Like
Can
it's
I say
so.
something? This is what I'll say about that. And I always reference to this. When
Mm.
I was a teenager, like my dad gave me basically whatever I wanted, material wise, like the diamonds, the name, all that stuff back in the 80s, the name belt, the
Mhm.
Gucci, the this, the that.
Mhm.
So now for me, that stuff is minuscule.
Right. Right.
What else do you like? Where are you at up here?
Right.
Where's your compassion? You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like, I don't
Mhm.
care about none of that stuff. And I raised my sons like that. And I used to tell my youngest son, because he's that, as they say, light skin with the good hair, because I hate those terms. And I
Mhm.
used
Me
to tell
too.
him when he was a little girl, because the little boy, because he would say, Mom, the little girls love my curly hair. I said, if you ever talk to a young lady and she speaks about your hair and that's all
Right. That's
he
right.
feels
That's
like,
right.
I want you to
That's
keep
right.
it moving from her.
That's right. That's right.
Keep it
That's right.
pushing because
Mhm.
it's more to life than that. And as far as like material things, my dad used to tell me all of that stuff is lent to you while you're here. So don't put
It's
so
a
much
what?
value into it.
It's lint.
It's a
Lent.
Yeah, lint.
It's
correct,
lent to you. You can't take it
correct.
with you when you
Nope.
go. So
Right.
I put nothing on materialism, and I don't really like to be in a company of people where that is the topic of it all because it's a turnoff.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, okay, so what were we talking about?
Right.
It just does nothing for me,
Right.
you
Right.
know? But
So
Right.
I
so the
think
one thing
our people are so consumed with that. And you know, back in the day, we didn't have all this social media
Right.
to
Correct. Correct.
enforce all of that. You
right.
Right.
know, now
Right.
what's enforced is you say a word and a Facebook is bringing it in for you to look at.
Right. And that was another
Right.
thing that I wanted to
Y'all
address
sound
about
ashy.
about the materialism is
Y'all
like,
sound ashy. Like I can't really hear you.
can you hear me now?
I hear you, but it's like, you know
Can
how
you hear
when
me, Stace?
Yeah, I can
you
hear you.
sound, you
All right.
still sound ashy.
Well, all right.
I'm
Well,
gonna
let
go
me.
out.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
All
right.
right. We're
Yeah.
glad
I'm
you
gonna,
tuned in. All right.
All right.
What you about
So
to say,
yeah,
man?
what I wanted to basically go over with the materialism thing. All right. So what kind of like rung a bell for me is our brother Jay. He posted that thing
Mm-hmm.
with all of the
Oh, the
designers,
designers, right? Yep.
Gucci,
Mm-hmm.
Versace, Ralph Lauren, just all of the designers, the big name designers with all the
Mm-hmm.
expensive shit and all that. First of all, it was not a black person on the list. That's first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Second of all, it's like, you know, when I always talk, I know people is like tired of hearing me talk about brainwashing and all that. Uh, but I'm saying I keep saying it for a reason. Like, there's a reason that black folks are the highest spending uh, community in the world. Actually, you
Right.
know what I mean? We
Mm-hmm.
we we spend the most
We're the
dollars out of
consumers.
anybody
Yeah.
on the planet.
Yeah. We're the
So
consumers.
right, but and we're programmed to do so
Mm-hmm.
because we're not programmed to look for quality. We're not programmed to look for
Mm.
comfort, or we're not programmed to look for uh, you know a product that's going to last a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Mm-hmm.
strictly based on name and
That's right.
fashion
That's
and how
right.
much it costs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Even our
So,
kids, are programmed that way, and it's
so Nike.
crazy.
So we're gonna bring Shahida in regarding this. But what about the fact that people say that it makes them feel good? You know, they those things
That's
make
part
them
of the
feel.
programming, because if you have low self esteem,
Mm-hmm.
if you have low self esteem, and a Versace shirt is gonna make you feel like a man, or a Gucci bra is gonna make you feel more like a woman, then there's something wrong with that.
But Nike, but
If you
we
if
but
you need
we
something material to make you feel to make you feel relevant, that's a problem.
I
unfortunately
agree.
though. But we all went through that though, right? Then we when we came up, it was
Right.
I mean
We all
now
went through it because we were programmed the same as they were. So
true.
But
now that
listen,
I'm not programmed, I'm trying to tell people, or trying to warn people, that it shouldn't be like that.
but
Or
Right.
would
or
you
I'm trying to deprogram people.
well,
Mm-hmm.
let me ask
Right.
y'all this. When y'all went through it, because I have to honestly say that I was teenager years going into maybe my 20s. And then after that, that's when the my sense came in. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
and I can't say this for everybody, but I just personally feel, this is just my humble opinion, when you get to like an adult of a particular age should be able to differentiate in what is you know, like, okay, when I was in my 20s, I had to have it. This was popping. And, but when you get to a certain age, your value system is supposed to
Right,
change.
that's true. That's true. I guess that's the key then. The key then is that because since we've all gone through it, the key is that after you reach a certain age, your values should shift, and you should realize how maybe unimportant those items truly are to to your well-being.
Yep.
But like I said, we've all been there. When we came up, it was what, Lee jeans, and you
Yep.
had Chardon, whatever they were, Jordache jeans. Nobody walked around with jeans with no names on them.
Right.
No, they
So
didn't.
Yeah, but that's but that's what I'm saying, Stace. Why? We gotta ask ourselves why.
But you know what my mom told me, and I distinctly remember my grandmother saying to me when I was a little girl that there was a time when you wore designer and the name was like, to have the name shown, that was like not the thing to do. So as
right,
time moved on,
that's right.
I guess it kind of got mainstreamed. Okay, let me
Show
get
the name.
Sergio Valente
Right.
and all of these
That's right.
people, so
That's
it,
right.
to me it just got weird.
I think
We
that's what
always
Terry was saying,
chasing.
though.
We chasing tags. You know what I'm saying? Chasing tags, chasing jewelry. That's one of the things I hate to see the most. When I see these rappers, man, and these guys with all of these big ass diamond chains and all that shit, and it's like, why? What's the
Now,
point?
let me say this also, though. Part of it also is relative, though. If you're talking about somebody that's making millions, let's say, some of these, like to use your example, Nike, these rappers are making millions, so a diamond chain to them is like a gold bracelet to us.
Yeah,
So
but
part of
in 10 years, they're gonna want that. In 10 years, they're gonna want all that money back that they spent on that on all that
well,
jewelry.
but that's a different issue, though. You're talking about somebody that's maybe if they don't manage their money right and they need it
That's
or
what I'm
something like
saying.
that.
That's my point. That's my
But
point.
but my point.
But what's higher? What do you see more of? Do you see more of 20 years from now they still got it, or 20 years from now they don't have it?
Right,
Well, yeah,
exactly. Most
that,
of the
yeah,
time,
yeah.
even in the NBA and the NFL, those guys usually don't keep their money either. You know what I mean? Because
I
they
think
don't know how to manage their money, man.
I think the big problem comes in with social media because the people that look up to the athletes and the rappers and the quote unquote celebrities, they set the trend. They're the trendsetters. So you see your the person that you admire wearing those sneakers, and now you want them, and now it's all over
Right.
social media. So now everyone wants them. So we didn't have social media like this when we were coming up, so it wasn't
I ain't
exacerbated
never
as much
seen
as it
Bill
is now.
Gates wear no flossed out chain like that.
True. True.
I ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I ain't
that's
never
true.
seen, what's his
True.
name? What's the boy with the stock market boy?
I know you're talking about. I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
All they houses is flossed out. Trust and
Yeah.
believe them.
I'm saying
Listen,
they
True.
houses might be, but
t-shirts, y'all, them t-shirts, Bill Gates and them jeans, they probably like
Thousands.
$200-300, but
Zuckerberg and
That's
all
he
right.
them dudes, man,
he
they all
ain't
That's
but he
right.
ain't gonna have that stuff out there like that.
Right.
He's not
True.
gonna do it. And I've
True.
had people argue with me to say, well, our people came from, wealth and this and that. And, like when you look at the Egyptians and stuff, how they, had all their stuff on there, they kind of like to put it towards that. You know what I mean?
hmm
right,
hmm
Like,
yeah.
you see all of that, and it's like, okay, well, we talking about something totally different.
Right.
That's right.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Mike.
Shahida. We appreciate you getting on.
Not a
And
problem.
like I said, like Stacey said, you something else you want to comment on? Just hit the link again.
Hit the link.
Got
Come
you.
back on.
All
Yep.
right.
All right. So Nike. So we're gonna what you want? You want to go
So
on
did
to the
we
next
finish
one?
up on the materialism, John, man?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Was there
I
something
just
else you
wanted
want
to
to see?
say this last thing, man. Can our people stop thinking that they're you know, they have something to prove to somebody. Like if you poor, it's okay to be poor and not have to go and try to spend your money on something that's expensive just to try to show that you're not poor. Or
see, I think, but Nike, I think that the challenge becomes though, and I just reflect back when we were young. None of us came up with silver spoons in our mouths, but we didn't want to show that either. Though. That's we didn't want to. No one wants to look poor. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think the problem becomes when you continue to just pursue something, or you spin outside of your means. I think that's an issue. But no one wants to look poor. I mean, and think about it.
no, I'm
We
not
talk about.
saying look poor, but what I'm saying is like, okay, for example, and I'm not trying to throw my man MJ under the bus, but what I am saying is if I'm living check to check, right? If I'm living check to check, why do I go and spend $200 for a pair of sneakers just because it got Michael Jordan name on it, rather than going to get a good quality sneaker or a nice pair of sneakers for like $50? You get what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
now the other side of that.
my whole thing is like, why, like living beyond your means for no reason?
That's different. Well, but the other side of that, though, Nike. Let me just kind of say this though. I think when you're in the struggle constantly, that at some point in time we still like to treat ourselves. You know what I mean? Now,
right.
I'm not saying go take out a loan to get something that's going to decrease in value or a pair of sneakers or anything like that, but or don't go overboard. Your closet doesn't have to be full of Jordans, but to treat yourself to something nice that'll make you feel good, is that wrong? Is that Lynette?
To make you feel good?
Right.
I wanted to ask you a question.
Or
you say what, Nike?
What you mean?
I mean,
make you feel good, like comfortable?
Well, Nike, that's true, because let's be honest though, crappy stuff doesn't wear a lot. A lot of time, crappy stuff feels terrible.
I don't never spend more than like $50-$60 for my sneakers. And
I'm not. I say crappy stuff.
Comfort.
No, but I'm talking about crappy stuff. Lynette, you said you had a question?
I wanted to ask you gentlemen something.
Yes.
So I had thought about it. I don't know where to start.
Is the wine kicking in?
No.
We ain't mad at you.
I'm gonna give an example first before I ask. I had 6 siblings, and my parents were more entrepreneurs than anything. My mom had food trucks, whatever, and hardworking. And we struggled to put food on the table. There was always rations. And when I got out and got on my own, my first job, I was 17 years old. And I remember I worked at like a meat market. And the first paycheck, I went and bought 2 pounds of crab salad, rolls, lunch meat, and I'm not playing. And on my lunch break, I ate until I was sick. And I did. And I wouldn't touch crab salad for many, many years. But, okay, so that goes to say, so we may have come from rich lands and rich people at some point, but coming here to America, or being here in America and having them do to us what they did, put us, a lot of our people, in poverty, and there was an agenda. So within that, our people struggled to people and survive. So now we are at a point in society, in time, where we are making money, we are able to achieve and obtain. So what is it, that syndrome, I don't know what to call it, where because we can, we do. And we want, and okay.
Right.
I'm biracial, and I was raised black. My mother was white, my father was black, and my mother raised us to be black more than my dad did. But so in that, there was always jokes about, I remember hearing them as a child. There was always jokes about the black man wanting that white woman. And my dad was criticized for that, things like that. And there was jokes about the black man wanted what the white man had. And so you got to think that there is the mental conditioning and programming that has been placed upon us.
Exactly. Yep.
And is still in place.
I talk about it all the time.
Absolutely. You wonder if that has a place in how we are as a black people with trying to get the best and the biggest and the above our means sometimes.
Yep.
Agreed.
And another thing is like people, well, I've noticed this since like I've freed my own mind, right? I think I sound crazy to other people whose minds are still enslaved or still are programmed to think, like, the system wants you to think. Just like some of the stuff that I see people say and do now seems strange to me because, my mind is free. So I'm like, why are they thinking like that? Like, why? That makes no sense to me now. You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of stuff that I talk about doing, I'm not a hypocrite because, I used to be after the designer shit and try to be Gucci and fly and all that. But like I said, that was when my mind was programmed like most other people's minds are programmed now. The thing is, you have to get yourself out of that way of thinking. You know what I mean? You gotta ask yourself, why am I chasing this tag?
You know what? And I think what Lynette said was right on, spot on. And those commercials are strong and very influential. People spend millions and millions of dollars to affect the way you think. Commercial. They pound that image home, and if it wasn't effective, or they do studies on the way people respond to things. So and if it wasn't effective, they wouldn't be spending money on it. So Lynette, I think what you said, there's a lot of that. The way that we came up. Now that we have more ability to get, we want it. Now I don't know if it's always
just like they do the Super Bowl, those Super Bowl ads. Same thing.
Correct. Right. That stuff sells. Absolutely. So I think there is some truth for that. All right, Lynette, you're on the phone. You're on the line now. So we're gonna introduce these next two topics, and you're gonna you can chime in on them, and the last two, and you'll set the direction. We have,
if anybody else, we only got about 15, 20 more minutes. So if y'all want to get on, y'all gotta come on and
the 1%.
Get your comments in.
Well, actually, Knight, you want to go ahead and run 1%? All right, Lynette, this was one that Terry, we kind of touched on it earlier, so I want to get your opinion on it. When we talk about 1%, we talk about the people that are doing the brainwashing. It kind of goes back to what you were saying. The people that are setting the agenda, the people that are out here trying to have us fighting against each other so that they can pick our pockets on the other end. What are your thoughts on that? The 1%, the highest echelon of this country, right? What are your thoughts on that? The 1%.
So we're talking about. Yeah, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. So we're talking about we're talking about the people at the powers, like people that control the government and the lobbyists and the media, like Ted Turner,
all the behind the scenes.
Yeah, the people that you don't really know their names, but they're pulling all the strings. The Koch brothers. There's a bunch of people that we don't, like, us regular people don't hear about, but they are actually pulling all the strings. They own all the media. They own all the corporations, the big corporations. They own all the land. You know what I mean? So they got their fingers intertwined. And the thing about it is, if they keep us fighting each other, if they keep people, the lower, the 99%, divided and fighting each other, then we're not concentrating on what they're doing. You understand? So that's why I wanna acknowledge who the 1% is. Right. Yeah.
What do you say, Lynette?
I was saying that's what my take on it was. The behind the scenes powers that be is, that's how I term it. Because we don't know a name, we don't know a face, but I mean, you can place some, but I believe that as the masses, it does. Skin color, I don't even think matters, but so much we're talking about that high up. I believe that they want to control the masses regardless of anything. Race, religion, it doesn't even matter. They have an agenda. They have an agenda, and they have to keep the people, because we're not the only ones brainwashed. We're just the worst off. They have to keep the people
both sides.
Absolutely.
To have them go against each other.
Exactly. They have to keep the divide.
And we have to realize that. Yep.
And they have to keep us occupied with spending our money so that we don't do with our money what we could do. So that goes back to the materialism, but it's the race wars, the how we spend our money. You know how many of our people do not know how to invest wisely? And we're starting to wake up, but we're getting misled even there. Got to be careful. But
I take a different take on it. I don't have a problem with quote unquote 1%, because I think that in a capitalistic society we have the right, and we all strive to be a member or to be able to get to that 1%. So I don't particularly have an issue with the people that are at that level. And
Stace, you have absolutely no chance to join the 1%.
But
I'm just trying to be real. This is called Real Brothers. I'm being real with you, bro. We have absolutely zero chance.
First of all,
zero chance of joining the 1%. You know what I mean? And the system is set up that way.
But listen to this though. But no, this is where I disagree with you. Suppose you come up with an invention that shakes up the world. There is a possibility. Now, don't get me wrong.
They gonna take it from you.
But my point is that there's a distinct or small possibility that you can come up with something that no one else thinks of, that thrusts you into that 1% status. And once you're there, you're going to do everything that you can to protect that organization that you built to get you to that level. Do you agree?
I'm going to do everything I can to keep my business, but I'm not going. I'm not going to be greedy to the point where I'm paying politicians and I'm influencing, other rich people to put their foot on the necks of my people. Nah, fuck that. I would rather be poor.
But what I'm saying is that if you were to get to that 1%, though, now that you've made it, it's incumbent upon you to use all the tools that are in your toolbox, whether it be tax laws, whether it be talking to a politician.
I gotta stop you right there. For a second. Look, you don't have to be in the 1% to have made it, bruh. I made it. You made it.
No, Knight, but that's not what we're talking about. But we're talking about the 1%.
No. Made it is here. Made it is here.
We're talking about the 1%, though. What we're talking about is that we're talking about that 1%. And what I'm saying is that I don't have a problem with the 1%. I think my gripe is with the laws that are set up that they're allowed to use to stomp on other people or to buy politicians. My issue is with them. Who do you think
are making the laws? Who do you think are making the laws?
Lynette, what do you think, Lynette? What are your thoughts? You hear? What do you?
No, answer my question, Stace. Who are making the laws?
I mean, what you mean? Who are making the laws though? What do you mean, Knight?
Who are making the laws? The politicians, right, are making
The
the laws.
politicians make the laws, right?
And then who guides the
influences them?
who influences the politicians?
A couple people,
right?
Lobbyists.
Lobbyists, right?
And people and constituents.
Who tells the
Did you hear me?
what they want done? Wait, who tells the lobbyists what they want done?
Lynette, you want to answer that? You want to answer that, Lynette?
So, my opinion is,
yes,
they not letting nobody do anything that they don't want them to do. And if they don't want my black ass, I yellow bit black. They don't. If they don't want me to be high up there, and here's what's funny: there are people that have made it pretty high. You know what I mean? Let's look at some names like Oprah and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then but there's a point where you almost have to sell out, because they're not gonna want anybody talking anything to the masses. And when you're in that 1%, you're very powerful.
That's why I said, Stace, we will never make the 1%, bruh.
Well, I will make it. So
I won't never make the 1%. My man.
I mean,
I might have to have you hook me up on the side or something, but I ain't gonna never be the 1%.
But yeah. Lynette, what I'm saying is, that in response to what Lynette said, though, once you get to that level, though, that you're gonna do everything that you can to protect what got you there. Using Oprah as an example, she has a brand now. So if there are laws that come out, or they want to do different things that's gonna affect her magazine, she's gonna call the same way that we call our elected officials and say, I don't like that you're proposing, because that's going to affect me. She's going to do the same thing. There's nothing wrong with that, though, right?
Now let me ask you this:
I mean, am I wrong?
Do you think it depends on what we're talking about? Because if they allow people of our color, especially, to get up high, you better be real careful, because they'll take you back down. So you have to walk on eggshells once you're up there, and you can never really be fully effective to our people in that position, because they're not going to allow it.
Right.
So when you say fight with everything you got, well, what you got is your life, because they're not going to allow you to.
Right.
But you know what, though? Right. This is the other thing I'll say. I tend to believe, okay, look at some of the people now that are making it, and I'm not saying that Jay or those people are in the 1%, but they're pretty high up there, and they do a lot. They pull a lot. They have a lot. They do a lot for folk. So I mean, that kind of addresses what you're saying, Lynette. But
let Jay-Z start talking about some nationalism. Let Jay-Z start talking about our place here in America.
Let Jay-Z open up Let Jay-Z open up a Black Panther office and see how long he keep that money.
Or just support one.
I get that, but I truly believe that when you reach that level, you have the ability to say what you want to say. I don't think that there's a group of people saying that you can't say this or you can't say that.
Jay-Z wasn't on
especially if you're self-made
for like 2 years. He wasn't on social media for like 2 years because he said he don't want to be canceled. He don't want to say the wrong things and don't want to be canceled. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute. So you said that he wasn't on social media for 2 years.
He wasn't on social media for like 2 years because he said he didn't want to be canceled.
All right, this is what one of the users said. There's a fight going on now between the 1% and the retailers, the average person in the stock market. There is an opportunity to transfer wealth from the hedge funds 1% to us, Google, AMC, GameStop. Well, and there is. I mean, I think now, and Lynette, you kind of said something about this. We're starting to wake up now, especially in the digital age. People have the ability now to learn, as we talked about, Knight. Anything that you want to know is available to you at your fingertips if you just had to go out and find it. So, people are starting to wake up now, and So again, so with that being said, there's not a group of people up there saying that if you make a lot of money at the stock market, and you reach the highest echelon, and you say XYZ, we're gonna come take your funds from you. I don't know if I agree with that.
You don't know if you agree with that?
I don't know if I agree with that.
Even if they don't take your funds, they're going to make your life real hard and take your status or something. They're going to knock you down some kind of way.
When you like the cancel culture, like the whole cancel culture, that's the same thing.
But that's different though. No, cancel culture had more to do with being politically correct. Not really a Jay-Z or somebody speaking up about black issues.
Right, but what I'm saying is, so do you think if Jay-Z were to come out and say, you know what, I'm getting ready to start a New York Panther office, or just say something, out of the ordinary about like politics or anything, or social justice, anything, they're gonna go back in his. They're gonna go back
because
so
he's
far.
self-made.
They're gonna go. Wait a minute. They're gonna go so far back in his history and pull up some shit that he did back in the '90s and be like, "Oh, we can't fuck with Jay-Z now because he did this." And then all of a sudden he canceled.
Again, see what the difference is though, Knight. Self-made. See, if you're talking about being an employee, you working for a corporation and you represent that corporation. So yeah, you're right. There's some things that you can't say. But if you're self-made, what are they gonna do? Come take his albums from him? I mean, Lynette, you disagree?
I'm not saying he's gonna be broke, but it's gonna be a big hit to his portfolio. I tell you that for real.
You agree with Terry
all that shit?
Yeah.
You said again. I just think. I think Lynette, thanks for chiming in again. It's getting dark now.
He about to kick you off now. You should agree with me. He's like, all right, we see you later.
I'm gonna leave on this one. I believe that anybody out there that has any type of mass following, with them high numbers, you have to walk on eggshells. You have to walk on eggshells. Because they'll pull everything out from under your feet.
I don't totally disagree with that. But thanks for joining in, Lynette. It was good to talk to you. Good to see you. And thanks for chiming in. All right. Enjoy the rest of your meet time. All right. All right.
But you agree with him? All right, we get on you. We talk to you later.
Like no. Y'all wrong. But no, I think that especially when you talk about self-made, I think that you have more freedom than
you do have more freedom when you're self-made. But then when you start to work for other corporations, Sony, Nike, the NBA, then you have responsibilities to other entities. So they have a lot of control over what you can and can't do. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't, but but Knight, there's nothing wrong with that, because look at it this way though. Okay, let's say to use your example, what if Jay-Z said, all right, Jay, he said, I want to go open. No. This is my question. What if he said, okay, I want to go open up a branch of the KKK? I mean, would that be a good look? No, because that's going to hurt. No. My point is that if he's now working with Sony and working with these big conglomerates on certain things, they don't want to be affiliated with him, because look at the way you just frowned. He out there talking about he's big up in the KKK. You're going to turn your back on him.
That's my point, Steve.
I said that I'm saying that to some extent that's not totally wrong though. He does bear some responsibility when you reach that level. You can't just be out there talking reckless when you represent Sony you have
representing his own people is not talking reckless.
No, but what I'm saying is that he does bear some responsibilities for things that he's saying though. You can't be out there saying I'm going to do some things that turn off an entire group of people. You do bear some responsibility. So you talk about cancel culture. Yeah, that is correct. there's some instances or some times when you do have to be mindful of your positions and of the things that you say.
So let me ask you a question. So if Jay-Z was to have open up either like a Black Lives Matter office or like a Black Panther office, or something like that was not racist or anything like that, but pro-Black.
Now, see, but the problem with that,
and then Sony told him, like, look, man, we can't have you, putting any weight behind that. So then, what do? Do you go with Sony? Would you go with Sony or would you go with your people?
You know what, Nike? He would have to make that decision. He would have to say, is it worth running the risk of Sony possibly saying, well, I can't deal with that because you're going to turn off all of my country people, all of my people that like country music or whatever. You're going to turn them off, so we're going to have to cut ties with you. He's going to have to consider that. The same way he would have to consider it on the other end. If he said, I want to open up an office supporting the KKK, he would have to, and all of my black, right, exactly. Same thing. But my point is that is a true instance where he would have to take that into consideration. What are the consequences of me taking a position or taking a stand on that issue? He's gonna have to consider that. I don't know. I mean, personally, I'm gonna say I gotta run with the Black Lives Matter. Personally,
right? That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
But my point is that
that's why I said that we would never be in the 1%. Now you get my point. In order to be in the 1%, and why do you disagree with that?
Well, because again, I still think that
there's certain. In order to be in the 1%, there are certain what's the word? Compromises. Yeah, there's certain compromises that you're gonna have to make if you're gonna be in the 1%. You don't believe that? You don't think so?
I don't know. I don't know, Nike. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that. I think that.
So you thinking that the Koch brothers will let you in the country club when you got real shit?
I mean, but that's
there. Let you in the country club if you was close to getting to the 1%. Like if you was.
But the only way to the 1% is not.
Good old boy club.
No, but Nike. But the only way. But you didn't let me finish what I'm saying. My question or my statement. The only way to the 1% is not on that side. Jay-Z can possibly make it to the 1%. He's not hanging out with the Koch brothers. He might not agree with their position on issues. I'm sure he doesn't. I'm sure he's not trying to make it tough for black people to vote. Matter of fact, he and Diddy had that whole thing talking about rock the vote or whatever. So He won't agree with the Koch brothers, but he can make it to the 1%.
Do you think he's in the 1%? Jay-Z?
I don't know. I don't know.
He's just now getting $1 billion. He just now getting to the B. This cats I'm talking about.
You talking about that? You talking about like Elon Musk, 100 billion?
I'm talking about 1%. Like
right? Yeah, I understand.
You know what I'm saying? They not thinking about no Jay-Z. You know, you killing me? You kidding me? They not thinking about no Jay-Z. You know what I mean?
I get LeBron, I understand.
Last week he just got to $1 billion.
Right. I saw that.
He's a bastard. Yeah. Somebody is paying him.
Yeah. No. I agree. You talk about, you talking about them cats, 50 billion, 100
Koch
billion.
Brothers. Yeah, I'm talking about Koch brothers, Bill Gates.
I got it. All right.
Them dudes.
All right, Nike.
Jeff Bezos.
It's now 9:08.
We hit all the topics?
We missed out one, which is the Black History Experiment.
Oh,
you want to push that to next week? Okay.
Yeah, real quick. All right.
Okay.
All right, so everybody's still listening. Post in the comments your best 3 or your favorite
what do you think
people
of
from Black history.
Right.
I'm gonna give you a couple minutes to post it.
Well, not a couple minutes,
or hit or you can hit the chat, and then we could talk about it real quick.
All right. So now we'll do it this way then. While they respond, when you asked me that question, I responded, Malcolm X. I think I said, okay. Pat says MLK, MLK, MLK. All right.
Yeah.
Actually, Pat, I said, I said Malcolm X. I said MLK, and I said, I forget the last person I mentioned. All right, Malcolm, Martin, and Muhammad. Okay, that's what that is. That Shice.
Yeah, that got to be
That
shite.
got Shice with the Muhammad. All right. So, Knight, what was your response to my response?
All right, so this is what I'm saying about programming. When I ask that question, it's an open-ended question, and you can go as far back as you want to go, right? So when I said, who is your favorite black person in black history? Nobody ever talks about all of the African queens, all of the African kings from Africa, all the Egyptian princes and princesses and pharaohs. Nobody ever says it. Nobody says Moses. Nobody says Jesus. You
Mm.
understand what I'm saying? Like we as a black people think we only are relevant from 400 years ago.
Mm.
We started this bitch. We are the original people on this planet. And nobody ever says like, King Tut or Akhenaten. I mean, what's his name? I got it here. King Oba.
So question was, why is it? And people can respond or put their post in. Why is it that it seems like our history seemed to start with the 60s?
Because we aren't taught our history.
Right. That was the point that he was getting at. So why do you think that is, Nike? Well, we weren't taught our history.
We weren't taught our history because they don't want us to know our history. They don't want us to know that we got lineage from kings and queens. They don't want you to know that. No, you know what I'm saying? They don't.
Right.
That's a whole part of the programming. They want you to feel inferior. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you should feel superior, but you should feel at least equal to whoever else is in this bitch. You know what I'm saying?
You know what we should do, Nike? All right, listen, Nike. You know what Nike? All right, we got a homework assignment.
All right.
So we want everyone at least maybe once a week to research one person, one black person until the end of summer, prior to slavery,
and post it in the comments. On the air and like a Black History fact.
There you go. So everyone research one person prior to slavery. One person prior to slavery, a black person, a historic figure prior to slavery, what they did, and then we'll put it on the comment every Sunday up until the end of summer. How was that? Little homework assignment. So we're gonna learn a little something about our history prior to 400 years ago.
And if we get some good ones, what I'll do is put them on our website as well.
Nice. Yeah. Little homework assignment. All right, okay. Yeah. All right, so we've come to the end. Like any closing words, man? Because we here in Virginia. I got to order. Don't tell anybody. I'm whispering to you. The kids didn't eat yet. Don't tell anybody. So I got to get off.
I just want to say special thanks to Lynette and Shahida for coming on air and chatting with us. We want more of y'all to come, to join us and join us on our live stream and be a part of the show. I just want to say that we have a lot of work to do as far as freeing ourselves mentally. Once we start freeing ourselves mentally, we'll be a better society for it. You know what I mean? We'll be able to recognize the propaganda when we see it. You know what I mean? We'll be able to have a better quality of life, actually, because we won't always think something is against us. All right.
And on that note, I echo everything Terry said. I'm going to go back to something that we talked about when we first came on. Lynette said it, and I think Saida said it also. Find that space. we know that life doesn't end, and the problems that are there now, they're going to be there. I understand we have to stomp out fires every once in a while, but don't spend your whole life in the fire. My preacher, pastor, said one time that when you're going through something, the goal is to go through it, not to get halfway through it and stop. So find
not
that
to go
space.
around it. Right.
Go through it. The goal is to get to the other end. Don't get so bogged down with life that you don't get a chance to smell the roses or stand outside and look up at the sun. Because life can be beautiful, but it's beautiful if you make it beautiful. So I'm going to close on that note. So again, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget, you can check us out. All of our old podcasts. Be safe on the road. Sammy, my cousin out there. My cousin said he listens to us while he's driving his truck. So be careful out there, man, driving. You can catch us on all of the different formats. I guess we'll be on iTunes soon.
Yep.
We're in a position where we can do that soon now. So
but you can catch our recorded shows at realbroslive.com/podcast, and you can also hit them up in our YouTube group, Real Brothers Live. Subscribe to our channel, and we thank y'all for watching. Yeah,
and stay tuned. We hopefully we can get some special guests to join us to talk to them, some of the politicians, about what they think or get their position or insight on what's going on and what we can do to help things get a little better for everyone. So we thank y'all for joining in, and we'll see you next week. Keep the comments going. Don't forget your homework for next week. We're gonna post it up.
Same time, everybody. Hey, if you're listening, tell a friend.
That's right. Please do. Peace.
Hit us up on Sunday. Love y'all. Peace.